Aloha, this is Santa Surfing. Welcome to Beach Broadcast. Today is Friday, June 13th, 2025. Thanks so much for joining us on X and on santasurfing.locals.com. If you ever want to find out how can you find my videos, please go to beachbroadcastnews.com, hit the links button, and it has all the social media and all the videos. I'm trying to do more on YouTube. So as of next week, I am going to be changing a little bit of the format. I'll still be on Rumble, but I'm going to be doing a little bit more on YouTube because a lot of feedback I'm getting is that people are, it's easier to access YouTube, and it's still a little tiny channel, so there's not a lot of ads. And our show is sponsored by IVERMECTIN, which is from Meta247. You can contact them. They have a website now, but you need to call in your order, which is 888-749-0261, or go to the sponsor link below. But they have pills as low as $1.38 a pill, depending on what package you get. I would say most people are getting the package that is $1.75 a pill. So that's why I put it for $1.75. But contact IVERMECTIN, again, going to beachbroadcastnews.com, hitting the sponsor link, and then getting to the IVERMECTIN page. And our show is also sponsored by JUVENT. Now, JUVENT is what they have, it's vibration platform to help reduce the chronic pain. People that have chronic pain, it helps that. It helps with your circulation. It helps with balance. And it also helps with, if you have like neurological problems like sciatica pain, it's definitely helped. I haven't had sciatica pain in weeks since I've been using JUVENT. All you do is stand on it for 10, 20 minutes a day. If you want to read a little bit, just stand there, watch a little bit of TV, listen to the radio. And when you're done, then you just suddenly feel your body just kind of healing in its own way. And then you sleep very, very peacefully. So contact JUVENT by going to the sponsor link below, beachbroadcastnews.com, and then clicking on the sponsor page, or going to juvent.com/Santa. Do enter the Santa for the $300 off. I have a lot to cover, so I'm going to cover the domestic news about what's going on here in the United States, and then I'm going to cover what is going on with Iran and Israel. Again, it's mainly for the Israel and Iran. I'm going to go through a lot of anon stuff because it is, I think a lot of people just need to be given some assurances of what is really going on. One of the Q deltas for Thursday, June 12th was Godspeed One and All Q+. Now we know Q+ is President Trump. Let me get started with the announcement from Ron DeSantis in Florida about mobs that will come and surround the vehicles in Florida. Check this out.
And we also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets. You have a right to defend yourself and flee.
That's how you get her done, all right? This was last week when they first started to go out there. ICE agents were going out there. Remember, ICE agents are taking down drug cartels and human trafficking cartels, and the rioters just got paid to go ahead and prevent the dirty thugs, big enterprise business. So this is kind of an example. I'm sharing something more on I didn't want to share other videos like this, but kind of giving you an idea about, here's a mobster running in front of one of the ICE vehicles, and ICE went ahead and just continued on, was driving slow enough so that they can get out of the way, and then just the ICE vehicle ends up going around the person and continuing on so that he can get to work. This is a county sheriff in Florida. Listen to what he has to say about the same thing that Ron DeSantis says, but he's in a little bit more detail.
So I'm gonna break it down for you, all right? And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital in jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE agents that are being targeted for doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists that are doing all of this, standing in the way of law and order. Not here, not in the state of Florida. So, to make it real simple, if you don't want to have any of those things happen to you, obey the law. Go protest all you want. Do it peacefully. Stand on the mountaintops and yell your opinion, your views. We invite that. But don't you dare break the law, because it won't go well for you.
That's the way to get it done. That is exactly what every county sheriff around the country should be saying right now. Now, Missouri has imposed that they will not take any kind of, they have the National Guard out there right now. So Missouri is covered. They don't want to have any of that. Dallas or at places in Texas, they are definitely on high alert right now. Mobsters aren't going out in the masses like we saw last week. This TikToker on the left, she pretty much explains what the military that's out there right now at all the major cities, especially in Los Angeles, what they're like and what the Dorcas rioters are to expect.
Well, militia is talking real bold right now, saying they're going to go stand toe-to-toe with the 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines out of 29 stumps. Oh, well, let me go ahead and stop you right there, old Captain Keyboard, because you're about to challenge battle-hardened war dogs who have been doing nothing but cooking in the Mojave like rage-marinated meat grenades. And you seriously think that your Twitter fingers and tote bags are going to survive that? Oh, Lord. We're talking about 2-7, the 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines. Men who have been stranded in the desert of despair, also known as 29 Palms. And if you've never been there, then congrats, because your sanity is still intact. There is nothing out there. Just dirt, heat, boredom, and violence on standby. You have to understand, these gentlemen have been doing nothing but chewing sand and training for months. And now you're out here threatening to rise up against them. With what? Bricks? Slogans? Wi-Fi enabled courage? That's cute! These are active duty warlords. These Marines have actually stared down insurgents in real war zones. And you really think that your urban cosplay is going to rattle them? Bless it. Please, by all means, go stand toe-to-toe with these 500 Marines who have been counting down the days for anyone to give them a reason. You best believe I'll be there in my folding chair with my bucket of popcorn, sipping on my sweet tea as I watch your fantasy revolution get turned into the most one-sided beatdown since Sparta. You're not facing mall cops and weekend reservists, because you're going to be staring down some devil dogs who don't give a flying flip about your feelings, your hashtags, or your delusion of glory. So go ahead, F around. I triple dog dare you, because you're about to find out what happens when that leash gets popped off.
Whether you stomp on an American flag, whether you go ahead and throw whatever you want to go ahead and throw at them, this is the result. There's other pictures like this all over social media. These dingbats were paid. Oh, wow, we get to go out there and be, bad blank people. We're going to go out there and we have to just stay for a whole week. And we're going to go out there and fight. And we're going to make $6,000 to $12,000 a week. Wow, I haven't made that kind of money all year last year, right? Okay, so that's what their mindset is. Well, what they didn't include was medical expenses. You are responsible for your own medical expenses. So these rioters, these dingbat rioters, they probably went out there and they're at the hospital and the bill comes and they don't have insurance and the bill comes and it says it's $11,999. Duh. It cost them more money to go do the riots and do their stupid things than it would if they didn't make any money. So this is the result. And we're not seeing a lot of footage in the last 24, 36 hours. Makes me wonder, did they do a clean sweep? President Trump through Eldonado posted this. He posted this just today on the 13th, and it's the military parading around. To the YMCA music, and he wrote, it's gonna be legendary. So Newsom, he was fighting to get control of the National Guard, and then the appellate court pauses that ruling requiring Trump to return control of the California National Guard to the state. John Titor posted the calm before the storm. Trump's birthday parade thrown into chaos as wild thunderstorm threatens military spectacle. Again, remember the fake news. They're going to try to do everything to squash anything good that's going to be coming out on President Trump's side. And they're going to be spinning as much as they possibly can. A few days ago, this was posted by Douglas Mackey about the naturalized citizens can get their U.S. citizenship revoked for participating in insurrection or rebellion. President Trump even announced that at one of his speeches or statements or pressers. There's a difference. So there are illegals that come in here, no documentation. They go in here and get a free ride. There are people that come here through the residency program, get a green card, have permanent residency here in America. They may have opted not to become a citizen. Then they are considered the non-citizens. They are, and then there's the naturalized citizens, those with green cards that say, yes, I'd like to go ahead and become a citizen. They go through all of the paperwork and they become a naturalized citizen. However, they're going out there and committing any kind of insurrection or rebellion. They can get that citizenship revoked and then also on top of that get deported. President Trump also made it very, very clear, sent a very strong message to anybody that's trying to disrupt the parade in D.C. this weekend. Listen to this.
Celebrating big on Saturday. We're going to have a lot of, and if there's any protester that wants to come out, they will be met with very big force. By the way, for those people that want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force. And I haven't even heard about a protest, but, you know, this is people that hate our country, but they will be met with very heavy force. Thank you very much, everybody. Celebrating big.
Yeah, and there was a post of a surfer. She is out there with her. She has brought her puppy dogs with her. They took a walk last night through D.C. I wish I could find that post right now. I can't find it. And she said it is like a ghost town in D.C. right now. So let's see what happens. I am going to be keeping my eye on that all day tomorrow. And this is Ross Teeple. He is a sheriff for Pinal County, Arizona. Listen to what he says about what they're actually doing out there.
Hey everyone. Yesterday, my detectives were serving a search warrant on a cartel member where they took all of this drugs off the streets. We've got fentanyl pills. We've got cocaine. We got methamphetamines. We got gun seized from this cartel member. Here's the crazy part. Some idiots thinking it was an ICE raid came down in protest.
Go home and tell your families what you do for a living. Hey, ho, ho. ICE and cops have got to go.
You want to protest this not getting off the streets? That's insane. Stay out of Pinal County if you're going to commit crime. And I really want to thank my anti-smuggling unit for this long investigation. This was over a half-a-year investigation where they got 32 pounds of cocaine off the street and 22 pounds of methamphetamines off the street, to include the fentanyl pills. Thanks, guys. You're doing a great job keeping the county safe. Hey, everyone.
And one of the big news from yesterday is this dude right here. He's a senator, Alex Padilla. He ended up assaulting a federal officer during a DHS presser.
Guys, ready? And bell. Sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your
I also want to
hands off.
How many of our ICE agents have been docked?
on the ground. On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you have my hands, cool. Put them behind my back.
All right. Cool. Other hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording allowed out here. I did not know. There's no recording allowed out here for FBI, right? For the building. Is that what I'm saying? There's no recording allowed out here. That's my boss. There's no recording allowed out here. There's no recording allowed out here.
Yeah, he's a U.S. senator for the state of representing the state of California. So this dude right here, he gets arrested, handcuffed, and then now they're all up in arms about this. But remember a congresswoman or LaMonica McIver, who was pushing ICE officers. She ended up getting indicted on 3 felony counts for assaulting a federal officer and also impeding on their own investigation and what they were doing. So let's see what happens to this dude. So now on the worldwide news. Yesterday, I'm going to go walk you through the chain of events of how things transpired and what things happened, okay? And I'm going to go through a video that was that President Trump, he had a presser on April 10th, and I'll share that as well. But on June 8th of this year, 2025, Iran has, they announced that they had special, let me just go ahead and show you this headline. And this is from Al Jazeera, and they have, Iran says, Israel treasure trove of secret documents to be unveiled soon. That's what they were saying. That was what was reported by many different media outlets. So the intel minister has said, from Iran, has said that there's sensitive Israeli documents related to its nuclear facilities, its relationship with the United States, Europe, and other countries, as well as defensive capabilities, will be unveiled soon. That was on the 8th. On the 12th, President Trump, he said, we are working with Iran negotiators for a deal. And then what he said in April of 2025, he wants Iran to thrive. Let me play that clip for you.
Mr. President, Iran, you said the other day that if they do not agree to a potential nuclear deal, that it would be very dangerous for them. What specifically
Well, they can't have a nuclear weapon.
Did you mean military action, though, if they don't agree?
Oh, if necessary? Absolutely. Yeah.
And you have a
deadline for these talks?
I do.
And
You're talking about with Iran?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Do you need something definitive this weekend, or do you see this as the start of a process?
It's a start.
Do you have a timeline?
We have a little time, but we don't have much time. Because we're not going to let them have a nuclear weapon. Can't let them have a nuclear weapon. And we're going to let them thrive. I want them to thrive. I want Iran to be great. The only thing they can't have is a nuclear weapon. They understand that. But with Iran, if it requires military, we're going to have military. Israel will obviously be very much involved in that. He'll be the leader of that. But nobody leads us. We do what we want to do.
He has said that many times since he's come back in the public eye. He has talked about he wants Iran to thrive. He wants them to thrive, but they can't have nuclear weapons. Then, so he does that. He's doing a negotiation just yesterday. Then what does Israel do on the 13th of their day, the 13th? They strike Iran. Now, again, here's the paradigm shift. Now, all of Iran's all their negotiators, I'll show you some posts that were negotiating with Trump, are actually killed off. Again, Trump posts and demands for Iran to get a deal done. Just do it before it is too late. So let me just stop right here. I'm going to play a clip from his presser from yesterday, June 12th.
Look, I want to have an agreement with Iran. We're fairly close to an agreement. We are fairly close to a pretty good agreement. It's got to be better than pretty good, though, but it's got to be, I'd much prefer an agreement. As long as I think there is an agreement, I don't want them going in because I think I would blow it. Might help it, actually, but it also could blow it. But we've had very good discussions with Iran. Whether or not we get there, I can't tell you, but it'll happen soon. I say this, Peter, very strongly. They can't have, whether it's going in or not going in, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I'd prefer the more friendly path. Look, I want to have an agreement with Iran.
All right. Again, he's stressing that they cannot have a nuclear weapon. President Trump announces that he was getting very close to a deal. Remember when he was in the Middle East and he lifted the sanctions for Syria. Now, Iran was sitting on the sidelines hoping for the same thing, but they couldn't come up with a deal. What was the deal that Israel didn't want? What was in the deal? A trade deal. Was that trade deal trading information back and forth of who are some of the players that are assisting, going back and forth? Again, I'm just thinking out loud. You decide. But Trump is going to unleash on Iran if they don't make a deal. So do you see what is he? So in other words, Trump wants this deal to happen. Israel apparently didn't want that to happen. U.S. did not get involved. Now they may have talked to Marco Rubio or Trump, but they did not get involved. I want to make that very clear. They did not get involved. You can look at different posts. You can go ahead and do a Grok search or an AI search on that. They did not get involved. But do you see where this is going? This is the paradigm shift. Something seems a little afoot. Something seems a little off in this, because is Israel trying to prevent something from coming out? Going back to this article that I had referenced here from Al Jazeera, the secret documents that were going to be coming out on the relationship. I want to know who the relationships were with United States and Europe, right? And then it also said that they had a treasure trove capable of strengthening the nation's offensive posture, but he did not provide any immediate evidence. Israel government, which has never revealed details about its nuclear arsenal, said it to compromise substantial atomic weapons, making it the only country in the Middle East with nuclear bombs, yet has not commented on the report of the leaked documents. So there were some documents ready to come out. Israel probably didn't want it to come out. Remember how President Trump was working with Bibi Netanyahu to take down the ISIS leader, and at the last hour, the 11th hour, Bibi backed out. So Trump and his military did it themselves. And remember what President Trump said at the rally in Fort Bragg. Again, he has to send comms, but in the very beginning of his Fort Bragg rally, he said this.
Was and what a show it continues to be, and Saturday is going to be a big day for our adversaries. There's no greater fear than the United States Army. They all fear us, and we have the greatest force anywhere on earth. You know, you read different stories that others are building and building and building. We have a force like no other. They said it would take 5 years to defeat ISIS. We did it in 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
And then here on this truth post, he was talking about, thank you everyone for being so generous yesterday at the Kennedy Center, when he and Melania went to the Kennedy Center to watch the opening of Les Mis. We raised over $10 million for its restoration, a record. In addition, the actors and actresses in Les Mis were incredible. The show could not be better or more beautiful. It's running for another 3 weeks. So is it going to be 3 weeks? That puts us into the July 9th timeframe that Q post was giving us, saying 6 years from July 9th of 2019. Okay, so again, you decide. I don't like quoting dates. I'm just kind of giving you some time frames. You're welcome to go on my X page and also other places to get information on all of this, on Telegram, on Truth, on Locals. You're more than welcome to do that. I'm just going to kind of give you the headlines of certain things, but this is from Quag News. Actually, it was posted. This was shared by this person right up here. And Israel did not want their secrets to be spilled out, and reposted a Quag News article. Iran's intel breach involves Israeli nuke plan, surveillance, organ trafficking. Many of people that are not deep dive anons don't really realize how severe some of these nations, what they've been doing to crimes against humanity, and how bad it was, how really, really bad it was, and the Vatican and now Israel. So you can go on my page and take a look for deeper dives. I'm seeing a lot of, and we're all trying to get whatever's information out there, but I'm seeing a lot of posts going out and they're getting deleted. So are we being fed with a lot of misinformation from different media sources? Are the people on X that are super secret Mossad agents exposing who they really are? Again, that's why I ask you, if you want to go into my threads, you can find some stuff in there. But these are some deltas. This was a June 11th delta because there's rumor out that Kim Jong-un, North Korea, Kim Jong-un wants to is providing military support to Iran. So coincidentally, there's a Q Delta about Kim Jong-un. June 11th. Does Kim look nervous prior to the big meeting? Again, I'm just highlighting certain things. Some of this may not be relevant to this year, but does Kim Jong-un look nervous? Did they already meet long ago? And then let's go down here. Is he prepping the freedom he never had in the past? Deal done. Safe. On guard. POTUS moves up departure. Why? The world is safer. Iran development. So does Kim look nervous? The deal done. Safe. On guard. The world is safer. Iran developments. Q. Then there was this about EU sanctions Iran. Leaders of EU only care about protecting flow of money, not the safety and security of their people / world. Iran deal orchestrated for the sole purpose of lifting sanctions blockade to allow access of foreign businesses for individuals and co-wide enrichment. Scam. Nothing to do with nukes cover. Hussein pallets of cash, meaning that, remember how Barry sent cash in containers to Iran. Hussein, secret authority to convert USD. More coming. No MSN coverage. Got popcorn. Q. Okay. Then there was this for links. June 12th. Links to proofs, because now we're seeing Q proofs. Yeah. And this one here was relevant to the passage of defunding NPR and PBS. And so it says, who brings the House, the votes on the House floor? Who decides why is this important? What is coming? Full weight of the House. Some must remain clean distance from what is about to happen. This right here was pretty relevant to what happened yesterday. It was a missile. Now, many believe this was the missile that North Korea was shooting towards Hawaii, the 38 minutes of pure heck that I lived through in Hawaii, expecting and pretty much saying goodbye to everybody. It got intercepted from what we understand. But again, this was a rocket that was shot. Yesterday was when Israel, or earlier today is when Israel, they had a strike on Iran. This is not a game. Certain events were not supposed to take place. Q. So this right here for what was happening in Hawaii, that wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't part of the plan. So somebody was just going out there and just doing that. And again, in Hawaii, we had no information, no guidance, no nothing. A June 12th Delta again. We're going through. So somebody asked, when is this boom? When does it begin? How does it? These booms are overlapping now. Boom, 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 boom. A week to remember. Dark to light. Blackout necessary. Q. So we may experience some. We've been waiting for blackouts. We've been waiting for social media blackouts. But when that does happen, we're going to be celebrating. Not to worry. We know that God is in the control and has already won this war. This is part of a June 12th Delta missile, Fox 3 splash as the world turns red. October. Q. It's just, again, a part of it, but they reposted something from before. Another June 12th Delta is number 100, dark to light. And then it has a video clip with a 107 marker. Do you believe in coincidences? Q. And that 107 marker is at 107 of that video clip. The past doesn't have to be the future. And then it says, out of the darkness can come light. And then it says, and the light of hope can burn bright. What if people that share a common and rich heritage can find a common future? This story is well known, but what will be their sequel? This is when... And then it talks about destiny. Pictures presents a new beginning. All right. So 2 men, 2 leaders, 1 destiny. A story about special moment in time when a man is presented with one chance that may not be repeated. What will he choose? To show vision and leadership or not? Of course, he's showing vision and leadership. There can only be 2 results, one of moving back or one of moving forward. Our friendship, respect, and goodwill. Be a part of the world where the doors of opportunity are ready to be opened. Investment from all around the world, where you can have medical breakthroughs and abundance of resources, innovative technologies, new discoveries. Will the world embrace this change? And when can this moment in history begin? It comes down to a choice. On this day, in this time, the world will be watching, listening, anticipating, and hoping. Will this leader choose to advance his country and be a part of a new world? Will be the hero of his people? Will he shake the hand of peace? Enjoy prosperity like he has never seen? A great life? Featuring President Trump, Kim Jong-un in a meeting to remake history. Isn't that incredible? And so you can watch this video clip in the article section of below. But this is so important because our world is truly changing in an extraordinary way, ways that we can't even describe in words. And it is going to be beyond glorious. It is going to be biblical. It is going to be, oh, how would you say it? It's just, I don't even know if there's a word to describe the magnificence and the beauty and how extraordinary it's going to be. But this is a Q post for June 13th. They can no longer hide in the dark. It's happening. You are watching it. The world is watching. Have faith in humanity. Q. Another June 13th, Delta is something that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Now I'm going to scroll down here. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. And whether it is a galactic future, a future with innovation that's so incredible. I have so much more to cover, but I can't, there's not enough time in the day. But whether it is of all these innovations and all of this technology and all the cures and patents of natural cures and technology that's going to be released, all of the things that are just going to all of a sudden where money doesn't become the motivator, it's more about the helping humanity. How beautiful of a world will that be? But with that, there cannot be the corrupt people in it. What we're seeing probably in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or again, next few days, we're going to see a lot of them just get quashed and get taken to custody or arrested or being dealt with, because we wouldn't want to live this beautiful, glorious life of whatever the plan is for God's future for us. We wouldn't want that to have this walking into an era of peace when we have like criminal thugs next door to us, right? So this is truly, again, I don't know, my heart of hearts truly, truly is the walking into a beautiful Noah's Ark, and what it will be like, we have no idea. But just to be ready and to embrace what God's got prepared for us. I will have a podcast soon. I don't know if I'll get one on Saturday, but I will have one soon to cover that Saturday events. God bless you so abundantly. Have a beautiful evening, beautiful day, and thanks so much for waiting for this podcast and listening to it. And I will have a show very soon. God bless you. Aloha.